Bonjour, I'm Sandra Yerushalmi. I'm coordinating the program of Jewish Studies at the Alliance Israélite Universelle. I'm also involved as a Jewish activist in Paris, as a resident Moshe House, or with Lecture Sefer, organizing Orthodox Torah readings by women. I'm also a Yesod alumni through program of Jewish learning and professional development. Thanks Yesod for giving me this opportunity to talk about the parasha. This week parasha, Nitzavim, starts by Moses talking to the people gathered in front of him, telling them once again about the covenant with God. The Torah says in Deuteronomy 29:12, to enter into the covenant of the Lord your God, which the Lord your God is concluding with you this day with its sanctions, to the end that he may establish you this day as his people and be your God, as he promised you, and as he swore to your father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. First question here, why does he repeat this covenant? The people already accepted it at Mount Sinai. But at Mount Sinai, they were coming out of hundreds of years of slavery. They were following God and Moses blindly in the desert without knowing the way, only able to eat from the manna given by God. The first covenant, in this context, was accepted under pressure. Now, after 40 years in the desert, learning from God and Moses, they are able to take their own decisions. Moreover, 40 years after the exodus of Egypt, it's a new generation of Bnei Israel who is getting ready to enter in the promised land. That's why Moses wants to renew the alliance between God and the people. At the same moment, Moses also reminds the people that this covenant is the same that God promised them, and that he swore to the patriarchs. Here we see that even though there is a continuity between the generations, there is a need of renewal. But then the following verse says that this covenant is made both with those who are standing here with us this day before the Lord our God, and with those who are not here with us this day. Here Rashi, the commentator, says, those who are not with us stand also for the next generation. They are included in this new covenant. Then, why do we include them in the renewed covenant if, like the generation, the one in the text, the next one will need to reconfirm the alliance? Let's see further to understand. What is in this covenant? What is the contract? In Deuteronomy 30:19, it says, I have put before you life and death, blessing and curse. Nice, we have the choice between life and death. That's an interesting covenant. That's the free will. Human being is the only being who has this possibility of free will besides God. That's an important power and a responsibility at the same time. But what comes next in the text? Choose life if you and your offspring would live. Choose life? If God tells us what to choose, where is the free will? First, we have a covenant that has been accepted under pressure, then a renewed one, but it's still the one made by the generations before. And finally, God shows the choices that offers the covenant, but suggests a good choice versus a bad choice. So where is the free will? Here, the commentator Eli Munk tells us that this liberty of free choice has to be guided. That's what God is doing. God is telling the people what is expected from them. He gives guidelines. It's not coercion, it's directed freedom. As we said, the free will is an important responsibility, and that's why God is helping by giving some directions. And now, if we come back to the first verse we read, we saw that when the renewed covenant includes the next generation, it implies that this next generation will not have chosen themselves. They will be included into a choice that has been made before them. But following Munk commentary, this compulsory covenant will be a guideline more than a constraint for the next generations. It will help them to navigate in a life free of choice. And as the generation from the desert can choose death over life, the next generation will also be able to reject the covenant. This next generation the one who navigates in a life free of choice. It's us today. In our daily prayers today, we repeat Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu, our God and the God of our fathers. This reminds us that each individual needs to renew the covenant on his own, to make the God of our fathers, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our own God, to have our own understanding of the covenant. It's our role of transmission as Jewish educators to share the message of this covenant, to guide this freedom, in order to help each one to find his place in Judaism and as a Jew, especially in Europe. May we all find our place in the covenant. Have a good week and Shabbat Shalom.